Hi everyone, this is Brian Hayes and welcome to an introduction to the guitar synthesizer. Today we're going to have a pretty close look at the GR-55, Roland's flagship guitar synthesizer unit, and this is it here. And you'll notice that it has a standard wah-wah pedal, volume pedal, expression pedal, whatever you want to think of it as, and that pedal on this unit takes on all of those roles in being able to alter various sounds and add expression, wah-wah, volume swells to appropriate sounds that are inbuilt within this unit or sounds that the user creates and saves within this unit. There are 4 large foot pedal switches here. These pedals control various functions of the unit, but fundamentally represent the 4 main banks of sounds that the user has access to within the GR-55. If I just hold the unit a little closer to the camera, and if you look at that section there, you'll see that those sound banks are grouped into lead, rhythm, other, and user. So Roland have smartly grouped their sounds that they believe will be of most use to a lead guitarist together in a sound bank, to a rhythm guitarist in another, and the more unusual sounds that I guess are more electronic music related have been saved into a bank called other, and then the user can take any of those Roland inbuilt sounds within the system, modify them and save them as a new name under the user bank, the user-defined bank of sounds. If we take a look at the back control panel of the unit, we've got the traditional mono output jacks here, either mono or left and right, so the stereo outs of the unit. We have a separate jack here which is guitar out, and this is fantastic because you can run an electric guitar straight through this unit, and this is more or less the output straight through, unaffected by the unit. That's fantastic because you might select a cello sound, for example, from the MIDI simulator of the GR-55, but you actually also want to balance that with the traditional sound of a guitar so that you can pan out, for example, in a recording or through a PA system where you've got the effect of a cello sound coming out of, say, the left-hand speakers and the traditional guitar sound, including with whatever guitar-based effects you might want to put to that sound, coming out of the right-hand side of the speakers. It's a really great feature that Roland have built into the GR-55 where you can completely bypass the unit and treat it as a very advanced guitar effects unit, but blend the sounds between the two. Here are the MIDI in and out jacks. So MIDI stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface. It's a standard electronic protocol that was agreed by the world in 1981. It first came in place in 1981, and all instrument manufacturers, so the Yamahas and the Rolands and the Korgs of the world, anyone involved in making electronic accessories or instruments for musical purposes, since that time have agreed to use the MIDI protocol so that the various devices can talk with each other. And this is a classic case here. Not only does the guitarist have access to all of the sounds that are built within this unit, but through the MIDI in and out, the guitar player can send sounds and control other external MIDI instruments. For example, an organ, electronic piano, a synthesizer sound module, a drum machine, any electronic device that uses the international MIDI protocol, and that is virtually every device made by a reputable manufacturer these days, can talk to the Roland GR-55. Now there's 2 sides to running a guitar synthesizer. One is this actual unit itself, which I guess is the brains of the business. It contains the sounds and how a guitarist can alter and mix those sounds. The other side of the equation is the pickup required to drive a MIDI device, and also the controller module that can be mounted in the case of the Roland GR-55 system directly onto the guitar. That means that the guitarist can largely control all of the key functions of changing sounds from his or her guitar. And with a wireless connector or whatever, that might occur live on stage, 20, 30 metres from this pedal. You are not bound to this pedal, provided you have a way to wirelessly pass the MIDI controls. Let's have a look now at the guitar side of the Roland GR-55 synthesizer. This is my Bill Lawrence solid body Stratocaster style electric guitar. If you're interested in learning more about the features of an electric guitar, please check out my tutorial titled An Introduction to the Electric Guitar Volume 2. In that tutorial, I go through in a great amount of detail all of the many features of this particular guitar and of similar guitars, similar solid body Stratocaster design guitars. For today's tutorial, I'm interested in showing you this particular pickup that I'm pointing to with my index finger. That's an additional pickup that's been installed on this guitar. It's the Roland MIDI pickup that is used to send the output of the 6 strings of this guitar individually through to the GR-55 synthesizer module. It's a completely different technology designed pickup to the conventional magnetic pickups on the Stratocaster style electric guitars. The output of that MIDI pickup is wired into this GK3, Roland GK3 onboard controller for the guitar synthesizer. Now it has a number of buttons on it. It has a volume control knob. It has an up and down selector switch here, which lets you go through the various banks of sounds that we discussed earlier, the lead, rhythm, other and user sound banks stored within the GR-55. So it's a way to remotely select the sound that you want without having to run back to the actual controller device itself, which can be really important if you're performing on stage. It has a 3-way selector switch here. It has a normal conventional 6.5 guitar mono input jack, and it has its own unique MIDI cable output jack that you can see there in the center position. Now the idea with this unit is that you can, with a very short lead that's supplied, it's about a 4-inch guitar lead, you can plug a conventional short guitar lead into the standard output jack of your guitar and straight into the input jack of the GK3 controller. And if the 3-way selector switch on that controller is set in the guitar only position, as I've got it there now, that completely bypasses the MIDI pickup and any aspect of the GR-55 synthesizer. It is in fact a complete bypass switch to the guitar synth. And in that position, the standard function of the electric guitar, the selection of the 3 pickups and the volume and tone is all controlled as normal from the guitar settings. So it's fantastic because 9 times out of 10 you're not going to play the guitar synthesizer as your permanent sound. You're going to use it really as an effect pedal. And it's great from the guitar to be able to have a complete bypass switch to the synthesizer. Now if we flick the switch up completely to the other end of the available settings there, that's where we're running the guitar synthesizer only. And in that setting, we have basically turned off the magnetic pickups on the guitar and the volume and control and all of those settings that are on the guitar. And we're now running exclusively off Roland's MIDI pickup, which means you are now playing the synthesizer on its own. And for today's demonstration in a moment, that's where I'm going to have the setting. I want you to hear the sound of the synthesizer itself without any of the conventional guitar sound mixed in with it. Now the middle position of that 3-way toggle switch is a mix between the two. And that's fantastic because you can blend, for example, a cello sound, a simulated cello sound from the synthesizer with your conventional guitar sound, and you might have a mellow sound on the guitar or a bright sound on the guitar. And you can separate, because of the outputs on the GR-55, you can separate those two instruments left and right between your PA system or your recording software, or when you're performing on stage, and you'll get the effect of a cello player more to the left of the stage and a guitar sound more to the right. It's a really great feature that is not available to the average keyboard-based synthesizer, because when you think about it, a keyboard controller of itself has absolutely no sound, where an electric guitar has its own unique sound. It's not just a controller device, it's an instrument in its own right. So that simple switch setting there lets you have the best of both worlds, a combination of your standard guitar sound, however you choose to set that, and whatever synthesizer sound you select via the controller. I'm going to demonstrate now just a few of the standard inbuilt sounds that come with the GR-55 synth. I'll put up on the screen Roland's designated title for those sounds. These are completely unmodified. If you end up getting a GR-55 yourself, you'll be able to use these exact same settings and be able to have the same sounds that I'm going to demonstrate now. So here's the Roland GR-55 guitar synthesizer in action. I hope you've enjoyed learning just a little bit more about the creative potential of the guitar synthesizer. It really is an extraordinary tool for guitarists who want to explore a wider range of tonal possibilities. As always, keep in touch via my website. That's www.brianhayes.biz, B-I-Z. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the best way to keep in touch with all of the latest videos as I post them online. And drop me an email if you have any basic questions about the guitar synthesizer. Bye for now.